Okay, thank you everybody for joining us. We are going to go ahead and dive right in and get started. I am going to share with, hopefully the reason you're here, hopefully you're in the right place. I talk fast, there's my disclaimer. I hope you take fast notes. I'm going to share with you, I'm actually going to share with you 4 different sources that we're using right now to generate appointments, one of which I'm sure, I would assume you're using, 3 of which you're probably not. I'm going to share with you my personal phone script that literally closed a 720,000 annuity. Well, we're finishing the 1035. The 1035 came in on Monday of this week. I'll literally show you the statements and the annuity appointment, the annuity explanation script I use. It's closed me millions more in premium. And literally, I'll tell you the story of how I created it later, but I created it so that my 5-year-old daughter, I have 3 kids, she was 5 at the time, could understand an equity indexed annuity. Doesn't matter if you use variable, doesn't matter if you write straight fixed, doesn't matter if you write EIA. Again, stick with me, you'll get the idea. How I wrote $723,000 without leaving my house in Buffalo, New York, and how other advisors are using my turnkey franchise model to do exactly the same thing. I would ask that you pay attention. I would ask that you turn off your Facebook browser, your other tabs, put your phone on vibrate, close the door, tell your secretary if you're working at office not to interrupt you. Because you will, if you multitask, I literally read another study last night that says multitasking makes you stupid. And if you try and do 2 things at once, it literally takes your brain power. It has more of an effect on your brain than marijuana does. So pay attention, take some awesome notes, and even, and you'll learn something. Even if you don't implement what you learned, even if you don't have us do it, you will get great results. Steve already asking, is this being recorded? So that is a current fight between myself and Tyrone Clark. So we record for quality, so I can rewatch myself and see what worked and what didn't, and so we can improve every time we do this. However, I normally don't release recordings, and I don't broadcast or encore or replay, because then people don't show up live, and they think, oh, we'll watch the recording, and then they don't watch the recording, and it doesn't work. The amount of people who show up on our classes, on our webinars, literally doubled when we stopped doing replays. So I am not doing a replay. Now, I know I'm going to get a phone call in an hour and a half from Tyrone, because it's what happened last month. And he said, I got people who want the replay. Can you give it to me? And we had a big fight. So it's like, that defeats the whole purpose. So Steve, legally, I'm saying no, there is no replay. Take good notes. If Tyrone overrules me later, that'll be a separate conversation. But at the moment, I have to tell you, I am not doing a replay of it. All right, so which is why you have to take notes. All right, again, what I'm going to share with you today, my most powerful appointment source, 3 more sources of appointments you aren't using, and my personal phone script that closed the finished the $723,000 case Monday, and obviously has closed me millions more in premium, along with the turnkey franchise model other advisors are using to systematically grow their practices with low overhead and no reduction in commissions. Here is my ethical bribe to get you to stay till the end. If you will stay with me till the end, I will physically ship you a free copy of my 8th book. This was number 2 on Amazon, The Ultimate Financial Advisor Marketing System, which has over a dozen of the most effective techniques to grow your practice that I've used and I've helped other top producers implement over the last, I've been doing this 20 years, over the last 20 years. So no shipping and handling, no credit card. Stay till the end. I will physically ship you one. I'm going to warn you, I've got 25 in a box right now. There's 168 of you. So the first 25 who reply to the thing at the end, you don't have to buy anything to get the book. The first 25 will get the book shipped out right away. Everybody else, you got to wait for Amazon to ship us more books. And then, so you'll have to wait a week or 2 to get yours. In case you don't know who I am, I've been interviewed in our industry and Registered Rep and Insurance Newsnet, 2 of the top trade journals in our industry. And then nationwide, outside financial services, I've been interviewed on NBC, CBS, Forbes, Inc., ABC, Fox, Wall Street Journal, Miami Herald, Washington, a million other places. If you know who Dan Kennedy is, legendary marketing Dan Kennedy, marketing guru Dan Kennedy, I am the only person that Dan has ever nominated for his prestigious Market of the Year award 3 years in a row, 2013, 14, and 15. But I started out at AG, and I'm still a producing financial advisor, as you just saw by the fact that I have 2 appointments later today. So I started at AG Edwards, which doesn't exist anymore. because it got bought out by Wachovia, and then Wachovia got bought out by Wells Fargo in 2008 when the subprime bubble burst. And my holy grail, what I wanted to get in the door without cold calling. Because when I got back from training, I passed my 7, my 66, my life and health. I went to St. Louis for training, for sales training. I came back and my branch manager said, hey, I got your present. I'm like, oh, really? Cool. What'd you get me? I got your book where all your clients are going to come from your entire career. And I said, oh my God, that's awesome. Like, I'm young, I'm starting out, I'm going to be rich, I'm going to buy a Ferrari. They can be great. Give me the book. Does anybody know what the book was? Type in the chat box. What book did the branch manager give me? Let's make this kind of a conversation, interactive. Type in the chat box. What book did my branch manager give me? Come on, there's like 160 of you. Oh, you're raising your hand. The yellow pages, yes. Phone book. Yes, absolutely. He handed me the phone book and he said, they're all in there, Tiger, go get them. And I didn't know better, so I did. And I made 300 cold calls a day, interrupting strangers, asking for money, and it sucked. So along the way, I had the good fortune to find and beg my wife for 30 days to let me borrow more than our new mortgage to hire legendary marketing guru Dan Kennedy. And he said, you're doing everything your industry taught you. You're mass mailing for seminars. You're cold calling. And that's not your fault. That's what your branch manager is teaching you to do, but he's wrong. Your industry is wrong. And I said, okay, what do I do? He said, write me this really big check. I'll change your life. Now that pitch was 8 hours long. It wasn't just write me a big check and I'll change your life. So I wrote him I borrowed the money 31 days later and wrote him the really big check. And the first thing he said is, you've got to get seen as an expert. You have to be positioned as an expert. Cold calling does not do that, right? Your heart surgeon doesn't cold call you. You don't get hey, we're having a special, do a triple bypass of the 4th arteries free, right? Hey, come have a steak dinner and find out why you shouldn't eat steak dinners and I'll give you a heart surgery discount, right? You got to get seen as an expert. I said, that's great, Dan. I'm young. I'm starting out. I don't even know anything yet, right? I literally just passed all my exams. I had a week of sales training, not product training. I don't know anything. And he said, speak from the front of the room. If you do a seminar, if you're in the front of the room, people will automatically see you as an expert. And those are 2 seminars of mine where I was the speaker. And that worked. And I did that. I did direct mail for seminar invitations. I did Facebook ads for seminar invitations. We tried all kinds of other ways to get people to show up for our seminars, and it works. The seminar model does work to a certain extent. And we'll talk about why it was dying before Corona in just a minute, but then Corona hit and we couldn't do seminars anymore. So we switched to doing it online, right? I do webinars like this all the time. I figured, oh, financial services webinar will be easy. But it was a complete flop. I think I had 63 people registered for the last one. I think under 5, maybe 5 to 10 people showed up, and they all dropped off in the first 15 minutes. And we did email and we followed up and we got absolutely nowhere. So why can't you just run your in-person seminar online and get the same results? Give me some comments in the chat box. If you've tried it or if you have a theory, why do you think you can't just do your normal seminar online and get the same results you would in person that you're used to? And me asking questions also allows me to take a sip of water and a breath. Don says no food. Chris says everyone is doing it. Bernadette says it's too impersonal. Daryl says it's impersonal. Absolutely. There's also a couple other reasons why you can't do it online. Number one, there's no social dynamic. At a seminar, if you've got 20, 30, 50 people in a room, there's safety in numbers. There's a herd mentality. If one person goes to make an appointment at the end of the room, at the back of the room at the end of the seminar, more people will do it. We literally had clients come and have one sit at every table on purpose. And then at the end, when I made the offer to go get your appointment, those 5 people stood up, not right at once, one after another, and walked to the back of the room and formed a line, and everybody else started doing it. Before we did that, when we just waited for the people and we didn't queue them, we got a whole lot less appointments. So there's no social dynamic. William says attention span too limited. Amen to that, right? I saw one advisor's webinar where I opted in as a prospect because I saw a Facebook ad. I clicked on it. It was a college planning seminar. I'm in the target market for that because, I have 3 kids and in my own practice, I'm a college planner. So I do college planning and I do reducing taxes and retirement. Those are our two areas of expertise in my practice. But I saw one advisor's webinar where he spent 24 minutes on one slide. It wasn't complicated. There wasn't 27 graphics he had to explain, and there shouldn't have been. But he spent 24 minutes and the slide didn't move. And whatever webinar software you use should show you analytics. You should literally be able to see in real time people's engagement. Like I can see that Bob is on Facebook right now. It shows me he's got another browser window. Oh, I pay extra to find out, but Bob, get off Facebook and pay attention. I'll change the slide. I can literally, I won't call anybody else out. I'm sorry, Bob. I literally can see when people drop off. So I rewatch all of our videos and watch if we spend too much time on the slide right now. If I don't keep moving, people drop off because they're expecting television online. If you think about a TV show, the camera, they never do one camera shot for half an hour or an hour. It's like smash cuts. They're always changing angles. They're showing different people's faces. They're always moving. And if they're watching online on their phone or their computer, if they're watching video, they expect all video to look like TV. So why would you do a seminar in the first place? What's the whole goal? We all want appointments, right? That's the only reason we're doing the seminar. We're trying to fill a room of prospects and turn them into appointments. What if you could just skip the seminar? What if you could just go straight to the appointment, right? That was kind of my holy grail. I said, okay, I can't do seminars. The webinar thing isn't working. I just want the appointment itself. How do I get there? So this is not who's on Facebook right now. It's not my 13-year-old son and his friends. They're all on Discord and Twitch for gaming, and my daughters are on TikTok. So who's on Facebook now? Baby boomers, the clients we want. Now, super quick question. Again, type it for me in the chat box. Let's keep this interactive. Why are all the baby boomers on Facebook? Why are they the fastest growing? Why is their age group the fastest growing demographic on Facebook? What you got for me? Give me an answer. Andrew, Carl, Charles, Dan, Gary, Jean, why are they on Facebook? Don says to family, speak with children. Gamal says on family. William says they need friends, they're too lonely. Absolutely, they're there to watch pictures of their grandkids. And they are the last ones to the party. All the kids, right? They watch my wife. My wife posts pictures every day of our kids for our parents. And they have more time now because they're retired. Also true. So figuring out what I'm about to show you made me a hero at my company, at our broker dealer, and our FMO. And so again, as long as you're not in Buffalo, New York, and you're not competing with me, we're good to go. So again, as I mentioned, interviewed unregistered, can you borrow my kids? Actually, they are available for rent. My wife is one of the top 100 mommy bloggers in the country, so she gets paid to promote stuff. So yeah, they are available for rent. All right, you're in Florida, awesome, Lynn. Okay, so as I mentioned, been interviewed in Registered Rep, interviewed in Insurance Newsnet, NBC, CBS, Forbes, Inc., but on the cover of Success Profiles magazine. That's my wonderful wife, Rebecca, and those are our kids, Max, Ella, and Lily. Now, enough about me, let's talk about you. The seminar model was dying before Corona. This is a seminar invitation. If you all do seminars, you probably used it. You know the vendor or vendors who provided it, right? Please join us for a complimentary dinner seminar. Quick question, how many of you have did seminars before Corona? Can you put in I did seminars in the chat box for me, just so I can see? Hey, Andy Cummins, you are back, awesome. Yes. Joe, none. Everybody else, yes. Awesome. So here's the problem with this invitation. The biggest picture, what's the picture of? It's free food, right? You advertised free food. And then we get pissed as advisors when people show up and just want the free food and they're not serious about booking an appointment, right? I call them plate lickers. They're professional plate lickers, right? And I can see some of you are laughing right now and saying, ha ha ha, right? Hate the plate lickers. Well, we advertised free food. So what's the solution is you stop offering the free food, right? Because you want serious attendees only. That's what I did. I stopped giving away free food. But then Corona hit. So again, you take it online. They don't have to drive to you. They don't have to be in an environment with 30 to 50 other germy people. But here's the problem I figured out. It's still time. You're asking them to commit 30, 45, 90 minutes to watch your online presentation. So if they're watching video online, what else are you competing with? You're competing with Tiger King. You're competing with reality TV, and you're competing with all the real shows. And my wife made me watch every darn episode of this show, and it just got worse and worse. It was a train wreck, but we couldn't look away. And I'm like, oh my God, this is what our online ads are competing with. We have to get people to stop watching Tiger King, which is way more fascinating than retirement planning, right? No offense, it's way more. My wife is like, I would rather watch this than your show. I'm like, thanks, honey. But it's true, that's what they feel like. So let's talk about response rate, right? Like that's the big number in our industry. If you're sending direct mail or Facebook ads, you get 0.5% of the people who RSVP, or 1% of the people. 1% used to be considered good. If you mailed out 5,000 invitations and 50 people RSVP'd to your seminar, you were like, oh my God, this is amazing. That's the olden days, right? Before all of us were doing seminars. I joke that if you were homeless, before Corona, that if you were homeless or hungry, any night of the week, you could go find any single banquet hall or restaurant with banquet rooms, and at least there would be 2 or 3 financial advisors and insurance agents doing seminars. You could walk in, say you forgot your invitation and you never registered, and they would let you in and give you free food. What if you got like a 10% response rate? I mean, that would be insane, right? You couldn't even handle it. Like if you sent 5,000 invitations and 500 people RSVP'd and half showed up, that's 250 people. There wouldn't be, I mean, it's a wedding, right? You couldn't do it. But that still means 90% of them didn't respond. So forget about the 1% response rate. What about the 99% that are ignoring you, right? That's the scarier number. And here's the reason why. You're asking people to get married on the first date. If you and I have never met, and I say, hey, we've never met, come, drive out to me or go online and watch an hour video of me talking about retirement planning. I mean, we're going from I don't even know you to let's go home together, almost pretty much to let's go home together. You're asking to get married on the first date, and that's the hotel in Vegas actually where Brittany got married for 3 days. So what if you had a baby step to warm them up, right? You don't walk into a bar and meet a girl for the first time and say, hi, nice to meet you, want to get married. You get slapped, you get a drink tossed in your face. It doesn't work that way. You need to date, you need to warm them up. So the stages of intimacy in human relationships are the same, even if you're selling financial services, annuities, or insurance online through a webinar. So let's go to my secret appointment sources and my phone script. So number one, our first secret appointment source that you're probably not using is LinkedIn. So if you have LinkedIn Sales Navigator, this is super cool. You can literally use LinkedIn Sales Navigator to generate a list of everybody in your area on LinkedIn that has changed jobs in the last 90 days or or all the way up to the last year. Think about that. How many emails a day do you get from lead companies saying, hey, we got a list of hot 401k prospects in your area? And when I started in a business in 1999, I bought those. I fell for them. I spent thousands of dollars on those lists of qualified 401k rollover prospects. And guess what happened? I called every single one. I was a cold dot. I was like, screw the phone book. I'm calling these people. And I'd say, I'm calling about the information request on your 401k or whatever. I never requested anything. This says you filled out a card and you said you wanted a second opinion. I didn't fill out any card. I'm looking at the card right now. They sent me a copy of the card. I didn't fill it out. Click. But what if you actually knew that that they recently changed jobs, especially because of Corona, and you could message them specifically, you could connect with them about that. And then this is an example of me saying, hey, congratulations on the job change. Hope it was voluntary. The person accepting my connection request and saying back, yeah, I moved on to something more exciting. And me saying, hey, you might have forgotten about your 401k. It's your old employer. Do you want to see this 11-page ebook, the warm up lead magnet? And he says, yes. And I got a prospect. Secret source number 2, YouTube. So YouTube is the second largest search engine in the world. And my kids used to almost spend more time on it than they do on TikTok because there's longer videos on YouTube. But here's the really cool thing from an advertising perspective. You can run ads on YouTube, right? Those things that you skip at the beginning of a video. So you can pick people in your market your geographic territory, your city, your town, by income, how much money, we don't know how much money they make, but we know, are they in the top 10% of income in your area? Are they in the top 20%? And then we can run ads based on the searches they're doing. So if they're searching for annuities, if they're searching for annuity rates, if they're searching for financial planning, we can have our video ad show up in front of them. And then pay per click. You can pay per click, you can, yes, or pay per view, depending on how you want to structure it. Yes. Then we can also run ads based on what videos they watch. So I can literally say, I want my IRA annuity video ad for 30 seconds to show up in front of someone watching Susie Orman. Susie Orman did a video about why annuities are bad. I want my ad saying, don't watch Susie Orman, learn the truth about annuities, click here, or whatever it is, before they even see her video. So I can run ads on Ken Fisher, who says annuities are terrible. Secret source number 3, Amazon. So if you've ever been on Amazon and you've ever looked at a book, you'll notice at the bottom underneath the book you're looking at, it says, you might also like this, sponsored products related to this item. Those are ads. People pay for those to be there. So you'll notice it says how to retire on dividends. And then sponsored products, the fourth one over is Crash Proof Your IRA by Seth Green. I can literally pay Amazon to show my book, my ebook. It's a Kindle book for 99 cents. I can have it, and this is an old screenshot. We have more than one view. I know. The one star, there's a story behind that one person who wrote the 1-star review. I've asked them to change it. But anyway, this is an old picture. That's not the point. The point is I can pick what investing books, what annuity books, what retirement planning books, and specifically have mine show up there. And then source number 4, which you're probably already using, is Facebook. But we're doing Facebook a little bit differently. See, Facebook's algorithm rewards you for engagement. By engagement, that means people commenting and interacting on your post or your video. So we specifically post things that are on our Facebook fan page that we use to generate leads, which is not the same fan page as my financial practice. They're totally different for a very good reason, because I don't want to alienate my existing clients. But on our lead generation Facebook fan page, we post stuff that's specifically controversial about finances. And if you look at these posts, people are fighting with each other. I'm not even commenting. They're just all fighting with each other over what we said. Some people are disagreeing. Some people are attacking them. Some people are defending what we said. Some people are attacking them. They're going back and forth. I don't care what they say. I don't respond. And Facebook doesn't actually even care what they say. They just care that they're having a conversation and spending more time on Facebook fighting about it. So we specifically post controversial stuff designed to get people talking so that they engage with the page, see our actual purposeful content, and become leads. Now, the sole goal of all 4 of those is to get them to raise their hand and give us their contact information and say, I want that. I want to opt in. I want to register. I want a copy of your Crash Proof Your IRA ebook. That's our warm-up magnet. So instead of trying to take them straight from You Don't Know Me to watch an hour-and-a-half webinar about retirement planning, I'm saying, go get this 11-page ebook. You can read it in 15 minutes. And we're getting so much better results. And then after the ebook, we're then taking them through I'll show you, we're taking them through a 60-day indoctrination process. We're emailing them, we're calling them, we're showing up on social media, we're doing a whole bunch of other stuff. Hey, Daryl, this is actually yours. We're doing a whole bunch of other stuff to reach out to them to get them to schedule an appointment. Right now, it's over the phone or via Zoom. It's a 15-minute strategy session designed for you to qualify them, because no matter what copy we put in the ads, no matter how we reach out to people, you will always get crazy people. You will always get broke people. You will always get people who put the wrong phone number, the wrong email address. We get leads in real time. So someone could opt in right now and I could call them in 2 minutes and they'll say, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't remember that. It's just the nature of the beast on Facebook. We don't have that issue on LinkedIn. We don't tend to have that issue on YouTube. We definitely don't have that issue on Amazon. Doesn't give us phone numbers, so we can't call them. We just drive them in the ebook to schedule a consultation with you. But We always have that issue on Facebook. We've run ads that said, if you don't have $1 million, don't click. People click anyway. I got $5,000 in my IRA. Can you help me? No, we can't. So so you're always going to get that. So that's the point of the first consultation is 15 minutes to find out, are you wasting your time? In which case, let's only waste 10, 15 minutes. Or are they a qualified prospect? In which case, you would then move them to like an hour fact find to then go through your normal financial planning process. These are Facebook results in terms of cost per lead, cost per prospect. As I mentioned, we finished a 1035 for $723,359. This is the variable annuity from Prudential. That was their statement from March 2019, but what actually came over, because it was a year later, it was worth more, was the $723,000. Obviously, that's a nice day. Heck, that's a nice month for some people. So I'm going to get to my phone script in a minute, but if you had a choice between owning Pop's Dogs and Ma's Burgers or McDonald's, which one would you pick? Give me an answer in the chat box. Do you want Mom and Pop, or do you want McDonald's? McDonald's, McD's, Mickey D. Awesome. Why? Why do you want McDonald's? You want the McDonald's in Beverly Hills. Do they sell more? Volume, name recognition, branding, systems. Absolutely. Right? So what's great about McDonald's? You get qualified leads. I've never seen anybody walk into McDonald's, get in line, and not buy food. Right? How can I help you? Oh, no, thanks. I'm just looking. I'm going to Burger King across the street. No, thanks. I was price shopping and seeing if your dollar value meal was cheaper than the dollar value meal at Wendy's. Right? They're qualified leads. McDonald's has a proven selling system. It's so easy. 16-year-olds can do it. They say, welcome to McDonald's. How can I help you? And then you place your order, and they don't sell you on why you should have a Big Mac. They don't tell you that why it's good. Well, it's not, but why it tastes good. And what's the magic phrase they say after you place your order? Anybody? What's the upsell? Would you like to supersize that? That's it. They have products and operations, right? They have support and they have systems. So even 16-year-old, would you like fries with that, right? If you don't get fries, and then would you like to supersize it? They have 2 upsells. Would you like an apple pie? Would you like 2 apple pies? But I mean, it's that easy. And they have systems so that any 16-year-old anywhere or 82-year-old can make a Big Mac. So we've created what we believe is the franchise model in the financial services industry, where you get a 7-step online lead generation funnel. You get the landing page with the video. We create and manage all the ads. We run your LinkedIn for you and generate LinkedIn prospects. We run your YouTube ads for you and generate leads from YouTube. We run the Amazon ads for you and generate leads off of Amazon, although those are the smallest volume leads we have right now. And then we run, so number 1, we get the most leads from Facebook, 2nd from LinkedIn, 3rd from YouTube, 4 from Amazon. We do the lead capture and the 60 days of email follow-up, and we also physically call them for you. We physically call the leads. We chase them, leave messages, keep calling them back, and make the appointments on your calendar for you. You literally, it's like a McDonald's almost. You sit back and wait. Well, you have to do your homework that we give you so we can build it. And then we literally do all the work, and all you have to do then is show up to your Zoom or 15-minute phone calls with qualified prospects with the information we got from the phone call telling you about them. So this is an example of what one of those funnels looks like, and some of those leads that have come through. Obviously, I grayed out their email addresses and phone numbers and stuff, so you can't go call them. This is Carrie, who says she was getting leads from other industry gurus and was disappointed with the results. We call our leads aligned interest leads because they're actually interested. And she says, now I'm getting more leads than ever before, and they're highly qualified leads that are turning into paying clients. So again, in addition to that, you also get our virtual selling system, which I'm going to go into and teach you a part of it in just a minute. You're going to get sales scripts. We have a weekly coaching call with me every single week where we as a group get together on Zoom and role play and answer questions. We have a membership site that you get access to right away where you can see recordings of calls. You can see a whole bunch of other free bonuses I'm not even going to tell you about that are worth more that we throw in. And you can see the training every single week. We have automated follow-up again, and we're going to make the phone calls and appointments. All right. Again, Oh, so let me teach you my script. So, the story of my script is I was doing what Dan taught me, and I went from the 6,700th last place ranked rep at AG Edwards. In 2 years, I was in the top 30 nationwide for new accounts. But my close rate wasn't anywhere near what, that's your hat? That's awesome. My wife told me I shouldn't wear it anymore. So anyway, I had more new accounts than everybody else, but my close rate wasn't anywhere near where it should be. I was like, Dan, what do I do? And he said, well, let me see your annuity, your presentation. So I gave him the pitch. And he's like, go give that to your daughter. I said, what are you talking about? He said, you got, at the time, I said, like, you have 3 kids, your youngest is 5. Go present your annuity proposal to your daughter and see if she understands it. I'm like, she won't. He's like, just do it. I said, okay. I presented it to her. She literally fell asleep. It was nap time anyway, but like she literally fell asleep. And he said, go rewrite it until your 5-year-old wants one. And I said, okay. It took 4 tries, and I ended up doing stick figure drawings to where Ella was like, Daddy, that's really cool. And I was like, Dan, she loved it. She understood it. What do I do now? And he said, go do it to a client. I said, I can't do this for a client. He said, just try it once. I'm like, okay. So I did it at my next appointment, and they bought. In the meeting, so normally when I was used to doing an annuity presentation, it took like an hour to an hour and a half. I did this in 10 minutes, they bought. And they had like 2 questions. And I was like, oh my God. He said, go back to everybody who said no and do it again. And I said, they already said no. He said, they said no because you over-explained and they didn't get it. And you spent an hour with them, or an hour and a half instead of 5 minutes. Go tell them you want to show them something different and do this. And I did. And like half of them bought again. They bought when they didn't buy the first time. You know what they said, which drove me crazy? They said, why didn't you tell me this last time? I said, I did. You just didn't get it. So I'm going to teach it to you. So everybody, get out of 3 pieces of paper. You're going to do this with me. 3 pieces of paper and a pen. I'm going to use a Sharpie. My wife got me a fancy Sharpie. It's got a little case around it, which I love. So I'm going to draw it. You're going to draw with me. So here's how I do it. I ask them. So this is, I've already done the financial plan. This is the, or if you go for the sale first, this is how to explain an annuity. So a 5-year-old can understand it. Are you with me? Ready? Okay. So I ask, let's pretend that Chris is my prospect. So Chris Egan's, I don't know if I pronounced your name right. I apologize if I didn't. Chris Egan, you're going to role play with me. So Chris, you just won the lottery. $20 million. Sky's the limit. You can have whatever you want. What's your dream car? Type in what's your dream car for me, Chris. Money's no object. You just won the lottery. You want a Bentley. So I'm going to draw Chris. That's your Bentley. I'm going to stop showing my screen for a second so you can see me. That's a Bentley. Now, I'm not a visual artist, as you can tell. And no matter what answer they say about their dream car, that's what I draw. If it's an SUV, I might go like that and make it boxier. Can you guys all draw that? And guys and girls, can you all draw that on a piece of paper? Right now, draw it. You're going to want to save this. I'm going to assume that you've drawn it. So I'm like, Chris, that's your dream car. There's your Bentley. And Chris laughs and is like, yeah, no, thanks. That's not a Bentley. Right? That's exactly what happens. And I did not rehearse this, and I don't know Chris. So I say, this is a Bentley. This is your dream car. We're going to call it the IRA car. Now, what makes your car go forward and get bigger, go backward and get smaller, or go nowhere is the fuel that goes in the gas tank. You know what? Yes, your 3-year-old draws better. Thanks, William. So you know, that's the point. There's no sound. You can't hear me? Can you hear me? Yes. Okay. You heard me the whole rest of the time. Okay. So the fuel that goes in the gas tank are the investments. Those power your IRA car. Now, the whole purpose of your IRA car is to be a force shield to protect you from Pac-Man, otherwise known as the IRS. As long as the money stays in your IRA car, and don't get me started on the Secure Act, but as long as your money stays in the IRA car, Pac-Man can't touch it. When you take money outside the force shield and take a distribution, the IRS Pac-Man will take a little chunk of that money because they haven't touched it in 40 years and they can't wait to get their greedy paws on it and chomp your money. And I will say, Chris, does that make sense? That's what an IRA is. That's what Chris says. That's brilliant. So this is what an IRA is. So now we have to, so they get it. The whole point of the IRA is the force shield. So now they say, now the next question is, what investments are we going to put in the gas tank? So that's drawing number 2, get a new piece of paper. And we have tons of stuff in the membership site and in the weekly training where we teach you a whole bunch of other stuff and practice management, all kinds of cool stuff. We'll get to that in a minute. Okay, so we have the next drawing. Hang on. I didn't want to show you prepared drawings. I wanted you to see me do it live and do it with me. I thought it would work better. That is an office building, otherwise known as a mutual fund or active money management, whatever you want to call it, or a hedge. That's a mutual fund. In every one of those offices, and there's probably 1,000, there's 1,000 super smart people with MBAs and super fancy computer math degrees that they paid a lot of money to get, and those people are all making a lot of money picking the investments that go inside your IRA card, whether it's stocks, bonds, whatever it is. So we're going to say that's a mutual fund. Now you have to pay all those people before you ever make a dime on your money. And there's a reason, and there's a, whatever the stat is in our industry, 80% of mutual funds underperform the index they get compared to. If you've probably heard that, I always say you've probably, and then they agree. You've probably heard on TV, on CNBC, that 80% of mutual funds don't even beat the index, right? Yes, yes, we've done that. Yeah, I heard that. So what's an index? So an index is a computer program. And this is my 13-year-old son, and he writes a computer program that could track, or a guy, it doesn't have to be my son, that tracks the performance of the 500 biggest public companies in the United States, like Apple and Alphabet and Microsoft. Do you know what that index is? The 500 biggest companies in the US? It's the S&P 500. You see it on the ticker every time you turn on the TV. Or the Dow Jones Industrial Average, which tracks 30 stocks. So 80% of these mutual funds with these giant buildings that pay all these people and the rent in Manhattan and all that stuff can't beat a simple computer program that costs next to nothing to run and operate. So if you have a choice, do you want to pay these people to try and beat this and hope we get lucky and find the 20% that outperform? Or would you rather just say, hey, I'll save a bunch of money and get the index and I'll just get the market and don't have to worry about trying to beat it anymore? Everybody picks the index. So they now know what an IRA really does, and they know the difference between a mutual fund and an investment. Now, if you were trying to sell active management, I've got another drawing we won't get into today that talks about why you don't want an index. I don't care. I'll sell it either way. It doesn't matter to me, but this is how I explain the difference between a mutual fund and an index, where the index wins and is the attractive choice. Last drawing. Okay, so we've decided in our IRA car, we want to put indexes because they're cheaper and we don't have to worry about beating the market. But indexes are the market, so what does that mean? They go up and down, right? So if you've been invested for any length of time, 5 years, 10 years, 40 years, hopefully, you've watched the market do that. How do you feel about that? It sucks. And we have a whole separate conversation and software that will train you on. Like if we use Riskalyze to analyze risk tolerance and analyze their portfolio, we have a whole separate training on how to do that. You don't have to use it, but anyway, I'm gonna keep going. Okay, so that's the stock market. Up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. And what happens when it goes up? Everybody feels great and they wanna buy more. And then what happens? It tanks. And then what happens? Everybody wants to sell. Now, according to Warren Buffett, if you could stomach it, mathematically, your ideal scenario is, if you're not retired yet, you want it to go down every day until the day you retire, because you're not done buying yet. And then the day you retire, you want it to go up every day until the day you die. That'd be, mathematically, that's the ideal scenario. However, A, it doesn't happen, and B, emotionally, you couldn't take it. So you're stuck with this. unless there was a better way. So William Giraldo, do you have car insurance? Yes. Okay. If you crash your car and it's a total wreck, what happens? What does the insurance company do? Type. They pay the claim. They replace your car. You get a new car. Don, you have home insurance. If your house burns down to the ground, what do? They give you a new house. They write you a check, right? You have homeowners insurance. You have car insurance. Do you have portfolio insurance? Deer in headlights. What's portfolio insurance? Well, if we buy home insurance so that our house burns down, we replace it. If we buy car insurance in case we crash our car, they replace it. You know the market crashes. Statistically, every 5 to 10 years, there's a crash. Why don't you insure your portfolio? What do you mean? I didn't know I could do that. How do I do that? Let me show you what portfolio insurance looks like. It's not too good to be true. It's too good to be free. You pay your car insurance premiums every month, right? Yes. If you don't crash your car this month, does the insurance company send you the money back? No, they keep it. It's their profit. They took the risk. And you hope car insurance is the biggest waste of money, right? Because if you need it, that means you crashed your car. I really hope my homeowner's insurance is a waste of money because that means there's something seriously wrong with my house. But you know for sure the portfolio is going to crash at some point. So what if you could insure your portfolio so you didn't have to worry about it crashing anymore? Oh my God, how do I do that? So here's how it works. Instead of up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, what if you got 80% of the upside, and then when it went down, it didn't affect you at all? And if it went up some more, it went up again, where you got like 80% of the gain, and then every time it goes down, doesn't affect you. So instead of that roller coaster, it looks like that. Would you be willing to trade away, say, the top 20%? If the market goes up 10%, you get 8, in order to avoid, if the market goes down 20, you lose 0, or you lose 4, whatever it is? And William is typing yes. And every single person says, yeah. The only person, when doing it this way, I've ever had say no was one guy who was like, I'm an engineer and I'm going to outperform the market and I'm going to do it myself, blah, 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 blah. And I'm not worried about, I'm like, why are you here? God bless you. Good for you. Go away. If you don't want help, what are you doing here? He was like 24. He was a referral. He was somebody's kid, which is why I met with him. But I'm like, historically, trying to avoid engineers, it doesn't go well for me. So here's your IRA car. What makes the car go bigger is the investments. What are we going to put in it? They probably have mutual fund versus index. Why would you overpay when you could get the index? How are we going to get the index and get rid of the risk? We're going to do this. And they say, okay, sign me up for portfolio insurance. How does it work? Then and only then do I say, it's an equity index. It's called an equity index annuity, and this is how it works. And here's your participation cap and all that crap. But I used to use illustrations and scattergrams and PowerPoints from the annuity companies. My presentation took an hour and less than half the people bought. And I beat my head against the wall answering all their questions. This takes 5 minutes or less. Yes, I've done it on Zoom. People laugh more on Zoom than they do in person for some reason. And everybody gets it. And like I said, I bet 99%. Only one person said no. All right, so that's my 3-step how to explain an equity indexed annuity in a way that a 5-year-old gets it and that almost everybody buys. What's your dream car? What's an index? How does it work? So those are the magic words. You insure your car, right? What happens if you crash? You insure your car. You hope you never need it. We know the market crashes. Why don't you insure your portfolio? Don't say you should insure your portfolio. That's a big mistake. I tried that. When you make a declarative statement, you should, you must, you will, their subconscious automatically is trained to resist it. It doesn't matter if they already know you, like you, trust you. Subconsciously, we can't help it. If my wife says, take out the garbage, even though I know I should it's my job, subconscious, I'm like, I don't want to take out the garbage. But if she says, hey, honey, can you take out, why don't you take out the garbage? I'm like, oh, okay, I'll go take out the garbage. Subconsciously, and we talk about advanced sales training in the program every week. Like I teach you some serious like neuro-linguistic, we have another course that one of our clients came up with that is literally hypnotic. Like I've gotten people to give me free coffee at Starbucks. I've gotten hotel rooms when the hotel was booked and they lost my reservation because of some of the advanced languaging patterns they teach you. But anyway, we're going too far into the weeds right now. Magic words. What if you could make money when the market goes up, but not worry about losing when the market goes down? I call it portfolio insurance, and I won't let my mother or my in-laws invest without it, so that I don't have to hear from my father-in-law at Sunday dinner that the market is down again. And that is hopefully you have family members that you've sold one of these to, and if not, go buy one for them real quick, even if it's 10 grand, just so you can say you did it. But the fact that I'm like, I'm not my father's financial advisor. He's got issues. He won't let me know about his whatever money he thinks he has. But my mother and my in-laws are fine, and they all have these because I literally don't want to hear from mom or my father-in-law was the worst. Like every week at Sunday dinner, he would complain that the market was up and down. This is 20 years ago. And I'd be like, I can't take it. Dad, you're insured. You don't have to worry anymore. And after like 3 months, he was like, oh my God, I don't have to worry anymore. It took a while for it to sink in. And that's it's not too good to be true. It's too good to be free. Let me show you how it works and what the one catch is. The one catch is you don't get 100% of the upside. This is Steve Sadler, who says our proven selling system brought in new people before that we never met, who learned about our company with the aligned interest leads. We close deals at 50,000, 75,000, and 300,000. I think it's safe to say this qualifies it as a huge success. Where did my chat box go? Have I done that? Okay. Do you want to speculate on your retirement or do you want certainty? Absolutely, Don. You're absolutely right. That's another way to say it. So you're going to get the 7-step funnel. You're going to get all the ads on Amazon, Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn. You're going to get our virtual selling system. We're going to call the people and book the appointments for you. I'll show you how you can get this for free in just a minute. When you write through our FMO, you get street level commissions, you get top product offerings, you get the back office support. They'll run the illustrations for you. They'll run the case for you. They'll practice with you. Excuse me. They'll literally do everything. It's a true franchise model. These are some of the carriers we have through our FMO. In case you don't know, is Broker's Choice and Tyrone Clark. Some of you already have relationships with them. That's awesome. If you don't, we can talk about how it works both ways. Don, these are not all of the carriers we have. We got hundreds. These are just some of our favorites. Portfolio insurance versus insurance on your portfolio. Is there any difference? Yes. Portfolio insurance closes better in my experience. You're going to end up saying, why don't you insure your portfolio? This is portfolio insurance. But for my tracking, in my personal practice, portfolio insurance converts better because they're used to car insurance, homeowner insurance, life insurance. I'm selling it as another life policy that they actually didn't know about and want. Okay, so you're going to get qualified leads. I'm going to give you a proven sales process, and you're going to get the products and operations you need. So what would that be worth to you? If you got leads that we're focused on cost per sale. So there are many, and you probably watched other webinars with other vendors in our industry where they sold you leads. But the issue is you paid, they were incentivized to sell you as many leads as possible. They didn't care what happened to them. Now, we're not incentivized to sell you as many leads as possible because you're going to write the business from these leads with us. And we're going to get an override because of that. So we make our money not on the monthly maintenance fee that barely covers my staff doing the work. You'll see in just a minute. We make our money on the overrides, on you writing business with us that we use virtually. So right now, 4 months, we've been selling via Zoom. All of our meetings have been via Zoom. You could use the system face-to-face. You could use it on the phone, or you could use it on Zoom. You can use the selling system you learn through this program with your other prospects. When you go back to doing seminars, use this with them. I don't care, but let me show you how it works. So normally, if we were to build you as a marketing firm, a 7-step online lead generation funnel, we literally charge $10,000. I had that, somebody hired us at that price. They're an e-commerce business, not in financial services, literally yesterday. The virtual selling system, I'm estimating a $1,000 retail value. I'm making that up. The products and operations are priceless. So that comes to $11,000, right? But we're not going to charge you that. When we do this monthly for our advisors who are not part of this program, it's $5,000 a month. And the interesting thing is, I actually recently attended a webinar. I'm an advisor, so I'm on the same email list that you're on that brought you here. I attended somebody else's webinar a week ago. They were selling an ebook to lead generation system. I was like, that looks a lot like mine. It's a different ebook. It's a lot like mine. They wanted $2,500 a month plus the ad spend, and the ads were only on Facebook. Now, here's how this is going to get better. It's worth $3,000 a month, which includes the ad budget, which includes the cost of our appointment setter to make all the phone calls for you, and includes a management fee, and it's on, and you get Facebook, Google, YouTube, you get Facebook, Google, Amazon, and LinkedIn. So let me share with you, you can get it at elevatedadvisor.com/enroll. Let me talk about what cities are already taken, and we'll get to all of the questions, I promise. I'll do my best. So what's going to happen when you enroll is you're going to punch in your credit card. You're that you get billed $14.97 a month. That's the management fee. The ad spend is separate, and you're going to need a couple software programs to go with it. I'll explain all that in just a second. But as soon as you punch in your credit card, you're going to create your username and password for the membership site. You're going to go in right away, and you're going to start watching the indoctrination videos that are going to tell you, here's what we need from you to get started. Your account rep is going to be one of two lovely young ladies, either Emma or Desiree. Today's Friday, so if they don't call you today to onboard you, they'll call you Monday. And then you will already know inside the membership site what they need from you. They're going to need your logo. They're going to need your headshot. They're going to need your email. They're going to need your compliance disclaimers if you have them. Just simple, easy stuff like that. So you'll know ahead of time what you need to have ready for that meeting, and then you'll probably have it on Monday or as soon as you're available, and then we'll get you started. So week 1, contracting with Broker's Choice. If you're not contracted already, you don't have to move any existing contracts. If you're contracted somewhere else, that's fine. You're also going to be contracted with BCA. If there's a carrier that you want that you're already with, we'll figure out a replacement. All I ask is that you write, at the very least, I don't need you to move everything, but I do need you to write the contracts that these leads generate with us, because that's how we're going to make money, is on the override. So we'll start contracting right away. We'll start setting up, your Elevated Advisor team is going to reach out and do your onboarding right away. We're going to start building out your funnel once you get us what we need. If you get us what we need within like 24 hours after the onboarding call, and it should be easy, 24 to 48 hours, your funnel will be up in like less than 2 weeks. If you make us wait, we can only work as fast as you do. We have people who bought from this program last month who still haven't gotten their stuff done. And I got an angry phone call yesterday. Why'd you charge me again? I don't have any leads yet. I'm like, the contract says you pay every month. It's not our fault if you don't do stuff. So I'm warning you, do your stuff right away so we can generate leads right away. Week number 2, hopefully contracting is done by then. We get your funnel finished. We set up your virtual selling system. You start attending our weekly training calls. Number 3, again, we're training you on the sales system. If you need help on product support, product knowledge, what do you recommend? You work with our back office at BCA on that. I and my team are the marketing side. We generate the leads. BCA is the contracting, illustrations, case design, back end of things. Week 4, your lead generation system is going to go live, and you're going to hopefully have role played enough with me and been on enough weekly calls and watched enough videos that you feel comfortable having that first 15-minute conversation to qualify people. Weeks 5 through 8, month 2, your leads are going to come in. We're going to start calling them and making you appointments. You're going to have the appointments, and you're off to the races. That is the goal. So first 4 weeks are build out and training. Second month is leads and appointments. Our contract has a 3-month minimum. After that, you're month to month. You can quit at any time. So I'm going to ask, you're committing to 3 months, $1,500 a month to us, and then the ad spend to Facebook and YouTube. And LinkedIn is there's no ad spend whatsoever. You do need to have Sales Navigator, which is like $86 a month if you pay monthly. And you need another software program that will show you that's $50 a month. We don't make money on either of those. That helps us in terms of automating the initial messaging, the follow-up. We check your LinkedIn every single day for you and manually reply to people, but the initial outreach is automated. So it's $1,500 a month to us, about 130 in software between the two LinkedIn programs we need, and then $1,500 on average in ad spend to Facebook and YouTube and Amazon. Now you can have it all for free. If you write business with us, with Broker's Choice, any month that you do $1 million in business, it's free. Not only is the $1,500 waived or given back to you if you already paid it, but we will also cover your ad spend for that entire month. So every month you do $1 million. If you're spending $3,150 with us, $1,500 in management, $1,500 in ad spend, and $150 on LinkedIn type software, $3,150. Every month you do $1 million, we'll give you the $3,150 back. So you can literally get it for free. So you're going to get the lead generation funnel, leads. Again, there's going to be crap. There's just no way around it, but you don't have to chase them anymore. You don't have to email them. You don't have to call them. The only people you're going to talk to are people who are actually interested. Is every single person going to show, even though we confirm the appointment? Of course not. People are people no matter what we do. But you're going to have a regular source of qualified appointments that actually have read it, read the ebook, know what the concept of portfolio insurance is, and are interested, and you're going to know how much money that they want to insure, that they've thought about ahead of time. Obviously, you may upsell them. I found someone might say, I want to protect 200 grand. And by the time the presentation is over, like, I want to protect all of it. So, but they'll be the ones you actually talk to will be qualified. You're going to get the scripts and the coaching. You're going to get the products and operation, the street level commission and bonuses, advanced training, and the ability to get everything for free every month you hit $1 million. Now we're area exclusive. These leads are yours and yours alone. You will be the only advisor or agent in your city. So what that means is I've got to tell you now what cities are already taken, because I can't have 10 advisors running around Buffalo competing with me or whatever. I'm going to give you a couple warnings first. Things I've learned the hard way over the last few months that we've offered this. If you're broke, don't do this. It won't, you just don't. If this is your only source of leads, I wouldn't do it. If you need this to like save you from going out of the business, I wouldn't do it. That scarcity mindset, that fear mindset is just not going to work. If you expect in the first month you're going to get 75 leads and you're going to write $2 million, it's just not going to happen. First month is build out, second month is leads. And again, you're not going to get. The whole point of this is not to be quantity. I don't want to give you 50 lousy leads. Now you don't have to chase them, but I don't want our appointment setters to spend all their time calling lousy leads. It's going to be a smaller number to get you as qualified as possible. Again, there's gonna be crap. There's no way around it. We're not perfect, but we're gonna do our best to get you a decent number of qualified appointments every single month. The disclaimers, again, it's a 3-month minimum. You aren't paying per lead or per appointment. You're paying for a done for you service, which is the $1,500 a month. If you don't get us what we need in a timely fashion, you're responsible for the delays. I have 2 advisors right now who signed up in May and still had their onboarding call in the first 24 hours and still haven't gotten us their stuff. We've emailed them every single week. Emma, their account rep, called them every week. I called them twice myself going, dude, why aren't you giving us your stuff? We can't work for you if you don't give us what we need. There's nothing I can do about that. There's no refunds if you delay stuff. If you don't get it done and you're in and the second bill hits and you're like, hey, I wasn't up yet. Not my fault. And again, every city is different. I can't offer you a guarantee because every city is going to be different. I might get less leads in Buffalo than you do in Miami. I might get more leads in Buffalo than you do in Boise, Idaho. You might get better leads in me in Manhattan than I do in Buffalo. We have no way to know. So if you're already successful, you should do this. If you're looking to add more leads and appointments to your practice, do this now. If you need this to replace your seminars until things get back to normal and you can do seminars again, do this. If you're looking for new untapped sources of leads and appointments that you aren't already using or aren't oversaturated in your market, do this now. So I'll open it up for Q&A in just a minute. The cities that are already taken: Fort Wayne, Indiana, Hastings, Michigan, Worcester, is that how you pronounce it? Worcester, Massachusetts, Hermitage, Pennsylvania, Miami Beach, Florida, Atlanta, Georgia, Houston, Texas, Johnson City, Tennessee, Charleston, North Carolina, and all of South Carolina is taken. So again, you get qualified leads, a proven sales process, products and operations support to give you the franchise in the industry. Now, I told you you could get a free copy of my book if you shoot me an email to Seth@elevatedadvisor.com. And the subject line of the email is free book. And in the body of the email, you put your snail mail mailing address. I will mail you out a copy of the book for free. I'll pay the postage, I'll pay the printing, I'll pay the shipping, I'll pay everything. I don't need your credit card. If you buy, you'll get a copy of the book anyway. So I will give you a free copy of the book. Again, I got 25 in stock. First 25 get it. The next, everybody else has to, I'll still send you the book. So still email me. You're just gonna have to wait for our next shipment from Amazon. So you'll just get the book late. So that's how you get the free book. Let me go back to the list of cities. All right, so I'm gonna open up for Q&A. Okay, would this work for completely virtual practice? Yeah, we've been virtual since March because we had to be because of Corona. I came back to the office on Monday this week simply because I was tired of staring at my computer in my bedroom, and it was getting to me psychologically. And we're allowed to be in our office now. So I'm like, we could have gone back sooner. I was doing better psychologically, but just like the last week, I was like, oh my God, I got to get out of the house. I got to go back to the office. So yes, it works in a completely virtual practice. Let's see here. How many appointments do you get every month? It's gonna vary. Kevin, I wish I had an answer to that. So let's talk leads first. You may get a lead every day. You may get a lead every other day. So somewhere between 15 and 30. Now here's something we've learned in all of our testing. Our advisors on Facebook, on the Facebook side, our advisors are generating more leads Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So we're currently tweaking that and only running ads on weekends to lower the cost per lead. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, hey, I got no leads. Hey, I got no leads. Friday, I got 7 leads. You never know. And then how many appointments are those going to turn into? Again, it's going to vary market to market, week to week, month to month. Sharon, our lead appointment center right now, messaged me this morning and said, I set 4 more appointments for people today. I'm like, that's awesome. So how many appointments are you going to get? I don't know. Let's say it's going to be a wide range. Could it be 3? Yes. Could it be 10? Yes. Could it be more? Yes. Could it be less? Yes. There's no crystal ball. Even if I did the average of every advisor in the program right now, that doesn't mean you could be very different. Every month is different. In April, we were getting a lot more. At the beginning of Corona, the cost per lead was a lot cheaper because everybody was on social media stuck at home. But then smart advertisers, everybody cranked up their ad spend and it got more competitive. Average amount of leads per month. Again, I would say somewhere between 15 and 30. Do you know percentage of closing ratio on average? Every advisor would be different in terms of how many you close as clients. That's going to vary all over the board. So no, I can't give that number because you might be a better salesperson, for lack of a better term, than Mary. How many agents are in the program? We have 10 right now. We've got manpower available for another 10, and then we'll be closed. It's temporarily so we can bring on 10 now, and then we'll see where we're at 60 days from now. After they're all getting lead, the biggest time consumer is creating new ads because ads get stale. So we're constantly creating new videos. We're constantly tweaking copy. And then the biggest time consumer for our staff, that's on my end. The biggest time consumer on our staff's end, once it's up and running, is LinkedIn. Is them literally signing in as you as LinkedIn every day and replying to people. So we're finding out how many hours it takes them per day for the level of clients we've got so that we can find out after this next wave of the 10 of you, then we'll know how many staff members do we need to hire and train to support more advisors. Okay, hang on, I see more. Okay, how can we get, is it a requirement to contract with BCA, or can you purchase separately without contracting? That's a, hang on, I can't stop recording. So if you contract with BCA, you have the ability to get it for free if you write $1 million a month. If, for example, you are a broker-dealer guy like me, I can't write with BCA. My broker-dealer has its own FMO. We're not allowed to write anywhere else. So I can't write through BCA. If that is your situation, you can enroll. That's fine. You just won't get it for free. You just can't get it for free because they won't get an override on the $1 million. So yes, you can do it without BCA. You just can't. The months you hit $1 million, you won't get it for free. How can you get a copy of the annuity sales script? If we're talking about if you're in the program, you'll get access to the recordings of me training on it. If you're not and you want this, I'm going to have this webinar transcribed and turned into like an ebook for educational purposes. If you shoot me an email, I'll send you a copy of that when it comes out. It'll be a week or two. But if you want, yeah, I'm happy to share, as long as you're not in Buffalo. I mean, you're not selling to my prospects, so I don't care. All right. Oh, congratulations to the people who signed up. I see that we have, let me stop sharing my screen so I can go look and see if we've got some more cities. All right, congratulations. All right, I see 2 so far, which means we've got 8 slots left. One's in Jersey, one's in New York. Awesome, congratulations to both of you. We got 8 slots left, and I will hang out. I forget how much time we booked for this, but I'll hang out for another 10 minutes and answer more questions. Again, elevatedadvisor.com/enroll. You should see a page that looks like, here, I'll show it to you. Come on. I literally checked it on 3 different browsers this morning. Is anyone having an issue going to that website, or is there something wrong with my computer? Because I literally bought from ourselves this morning to test everything. Hang on. There we see, it works. All right, other questions? There we go. This is what it should look like. Hallelujah. I gotta clear my cookies. It should look like this. You should see a video of me explaining everything that you're getting. You should see $14.97 a month plus ad spend, plus LinkedIn. I didn't put that on there. 3 months, and then a form. That's what you should see. All right, additional questions? I'm a broker-dealer guy too. What happens if my compliance department doesn't approve it? We've gotten it approved at 4 or 5. So of the 10 in the program right now, I think 4 or 5 are BD guys who have compliance departments. We've gotten it approved everywhere. We did have one advisor last month who couldn't do it because his compliance department wouldn't let him. So here's the deal. If you sign up, you have to sign up for us to build it. If you sign up and your compliance department vetoes it, I'll refund your money because if you can't use it, there's no sense in you paying for it. We'll cancel your monthly charge and I'll refund the money. So you are safe if your compliance department says no. All right, congrats, Bob. Bob signed up. Awesome. Welcome aboard. We're going to crush it for you. Now we're down to 7. Again, remember, Facebook ads, Facebook leads, YouTube leads, LinkedIn leads, Amazon leads every single month. And if you want the free book, shoot me an email. If you're enrolling, you're already getting the book. All right, I'll give it 2 more minutes to see if any more questions come in, and then we'll wrap up. Going once. Going twice. Oh, do we have any other hands raised? I think, did I miss something? I don't think so. Deborah, did you have a question? Brian, did you have a question? It looks like you guys raised your hands. Sarah, do you have a question? You want to type it or come on camera? I can allow you to talk. I'll give them 30 seconds to type in the chat box. Either Sarah, Deborah, Brian, type in the chat box if you have a question. Chris, thank you so much. No, Deborah does not have a question. Okay, Brian, Sarah, Brian, Drakes, and Sarah, do you have a question? Is that why your hand is raised, your virtual hand? All right, awesome. I hope you learned. Can you use this with Index Universal Life also? Okay, so that's a great question we didn't talk about. We do have other lead generation funnels. We do have one for IUL, and we do have one for college planning leads. That isn't this program because you can't write, but it is the same price. So if you want to look at one of those other programs, again, shoot me an email and we can have a separate email exchange or conversation about those two. Brian does. Okay. I live in a rural area. How far is the territory? Okay, so it's got to be big enough to have enough people to make it work. So if we got to go 10, 25, however many miles, I'm okay with that as long as you're not overlapping another advisor. If you are near a big city, but you don't live in the big city, and no one's got that city, you can have the city to make sure we get enough people for you. So I don't, Cape Cod, is that anywhere near, I don't know. We can make it broad enough as long as you don't overlap. Great presentation, great program. Thanks for your investment of time to make this work. You're welcome. With your talking portfolio insurance, I don't have my securities license. How can I talk about moving about it without trouble? Oh, so we would just call, you're selling an EIA, right? Or you're selling a fixed annuity. So theoretically, you don't need a securities license. Sarah, you mentioned someone registered from New Jersey. I'm in South Jersey. How big is the territory? Okay, hang on. I'm sorry. Brian lives near Boston. We don't have anybody in Boston, Brian. You're good. Go for it. Sarah, you're in Jersey. You're located in South Jersey. Let me find out where our person in Jersey is. Give me 2 seconds. Oops. Hang on. All right. It might take me more than 2 seconds. Stay with me. Where are you? Okay, there he is. Hang on. I'm pulling up a city. Having problem getting into the enroll site. Damn it. You fixed this. Here, I'll give you another link. If anybody has issues, try the link that has the numbers at the end of it. elevatedadvisor.com/enroll 365165152. You're not gonna remember what I just said. I pasted it in the browser. Try that one. I did it in Explorer and it worked fine. I did it in Edge. It worked fine. My Google Chrome was giving me issues, but I bought on Safari this morning. So I just added another one. Oh, you wanted to know where the New Jersey guy was. Hang on. Let me find out. Give me 2 seconds. Our New Jersey guy is Monmouth County. Does that mean anything to you, Sarah? He's Monmouth County. Moving securities, equity, indexed annuity. I thought I wasn't allowed. I don't know. I'm not a compliance lawyer. I don't play one on TV. I don't know if you have a no securities license. Can you write an EIA? I don't know. If not, just write a fixed annuity. He's saying a non-securities licensed advisor can't suggest to sell his securities to fund an FIA. It's a violation. Oh, I wasn't telling them to sell their securities to buy it. I thought you were asking, are you allowed to sell an EIA, which I believe is that you are. I wasn't saying sell your stocks. I never said sell your stocks to buy it. I was saying, I explained the difference between a mutual fund and an index. I wasn't selling a fund. Can we have Orange County, California? Yes, I do not have anybody in Orange County. Monmouth County is an hour and 20 minutes away from you. Okay, so you should probably be fine because your prospects probably aren't driving an hour and a half. I mean, this is virtual, but you should probably be fine. If it takes a month to get site up and running, when will the ad spend be charged? As soon as we start generating, as soon as the ads go up, And if you move fast, like if you get us stuff in 24 hours, we'll have it up in 2 weeks. I just have to give you the month disclaimer legally. The ad spend isn't all at once. It's not like day 1 of month 2, you get $1,500 charge. Facebook bills you, like they bill you as you go. So Facebook might say, we'll bill you every $200. And that might be 4 days. It might be 2 weeks. You can specify how often they bill you, like every $500 or whatever you want. So it's not immediate. Oh, wait, we got a bunch more questions. Okay. Can you go over again purchasing separate without contracting? Sure. If you buy and don't contract with BCA, the only difference is you can't get it for free. You write with whoever you want. You can't get it for free when you hit $1 million because we're not making any money off that $1 million in business. That's it. Price stays the same. We just can't give it to you for free because we're not making an override. Brian says he lives in Cape Cod. Wait, you are the person from Cape Cod. Never mind. You typed it in 2 different places. You got me confused. The use of the word sell is misapplied. Selling securities means providing the securities for compensation. In other words, a client can move funds from securities into an equity, fixed income, fixed index annuity. Right. Again, I wasn't saying sell ABC stock to buy an EIA, and I don't know that if I'm telling them that, I could say, here's what you should have. However they fund, it's up to them. I don't care where the check or the transfer comes from. So if I didn't have a securities license and I'm not allowed to say, sell your mutual funds to buy this, I could say, how do you want to pay for it? It's in your IRA car, for example. How do you want to pay for it? Oh, well, I have other stuff in my IRA car. I have 100 grand in Franklin funds. I guess I'll get rid of that. Right? Is the Kansas City metro area open? If we wanted a college planning funnel, also, what would the extra cost be? Cost the same. It's another $1,500 plus ad spend. We're not doing LinkedIn on the college side. I haven't pulled off making that work yet. If we do, we'll add it at no charge. That would be Facebook and YouTube and Amazon. Is the Kansas City metro area open? Let me look. Yes, I don't have anybody in Kansas City. Right? Let me double check if anybody's bought if anybody in Kansas has signed up now. Hang on. Trying to keep up. No, we do not have anybody in Kansas at all, the entire state. If you want to be in the college planning business, or you are, I have a separate program that if you do the college planning one on top of this, I'll throw in where depending on your college planning practice, because that's my sweet spot. Like we calculate, here's what we do in my college planning practice. We calculate your EFC for you as a prospect. We will tell you how to reduce it if possible and help you with that. We will fill out your FAFSA and CSS profile financial aid forms for you. And we will negotiate with the schools for you physically over the phone for more money. And we will help you with school choices. So that's what we do for our college planning clients. I have a separate program that puts you in that business where you can do all of those things and charge for it as a service and get paid, or you can refer that part of the business to us. We won't touch the financial side. All that's you, but we'll do the college side and you get a commission on that. You can do it either way. We don't charge anything for that program if you're in one of our other programs. So if you're in the college planning business or you want to be, shoot me a separate email. We can have a separate conversation about that because it's my bread and butter. So I'm happy to share as long as you're not in Buffalo. What about Missouri? The state line runs down the middle of the city. I don't have anybody in Missouri. I don't have anybody in Missouri or Kansas. States that we have people in now: Indiana, Michigan, Massachusetts, Pennsylvania, not the whole state, obviously, Florida, just Miami, Georgia, Texas, Tennessee, Kentucky is now taken, North Carolina, and New Jersey. That's what we got, I believe. Okay, since we're getting a whole lot more questions now than we were 10 minutes ago, I'll stay on. I'll stay on for another time. I booked 90 minutes for this originally, so I'll give you another 10 minutes if you got more questions. I want to talk about other stuff. We can talk about other stuff, but I try and be an open book. Oh wait, more questions. Hang on, I'm looking. Please put enroll numbers back up. Enroll numbers from current slide. Hang on. I'm not sure what you mean by enroll numbers, but I'll put up the slide deck. Do you mean, I don't know. Andrew, is that what you're looking for? Where's my chat box? Now I lost my chat box. Hang on. All right, I'm going to put, in case you're having browser issues, that's the correct link. That link will work in any browser. For some reason, one of them is not working, I think, in Chrome. It's really weird. Can we take California? You want all of California? I got to charge you more than $1,500. That's, I mean, there's so many big cities. That's, you can't have the whole state for $1,500. You can have a city. But I would let you, if you said I'm in LA and I want to buy Sacramento and I want to buy San Diego, and I would get you a volume discount. How about that? If you want to buy like 4 or 5 or 6 cities in the same state, we can figure out, buy the first one, and then we'll figure out a volume discount. I'm happy to do that. We have one advisor who took all of South Carolina, but he paid for it. I can't just hand, because I could theoretically, if there were 10 big cities in California, I can't give it to you for $1,500 when I could get $15,000 by having 10 advisors have it. So I'll give you a discount, but I can't just give you the whole state for $1,500. Andrew, is that the slide you wanted back up? All right, 9 more minutes. But Ibrahim, if I'm pronouncing that right, I admire your ambition that you want the whole state. California is a big state. That'd be a lot of leads. I mean, if let's say you're getting 15 to 30, let's say 15 on 15 per city, I mean, and you had like 5, 7, I mean, that'd be a lot of leads. So keep in mind, we're going to drip on them for you. We're going to call them for you, but you own those leads. As long as you're in the program, like you can put them in your CRM, you can invite them to seminars or webinars and do whatever else you want with them in addition to that. What is your email address? I want to discuss the college planning stuff. Seth@elevated. I have like 7 emails, but the one for this is Seth@elevatedadvisor.com. I'm going to stop my screen share just for a second. And yes, that's the right slide, Andrew says. Awesome. I'm going to go check the emails and see if we're, hang on one second. Oh boy, lots of people want the book. Holy crap. Sorry, I shouldn't have said that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Okay, so we're out of books. Everybody else, you'll get one. It's just going to take a couple weeks, like 2 weeks, because I got to order more. But thank you, everybody who wants the book. That's awesome. I love that you want the book. Congratulations, Gary and Tracy, who just signed up. Let me see what cities are taken. Awesome. Okay. Gary, where are you? Oh, I'm in the wrong. I'm not in the customer section. Hang on. That's why I can't see your payment information. Gary and Tracy. Gary's in Kansas. And Tracy is in Mission Viejo, California. Awesome. Congratulations. So, Ibrahim, or Ibrahim, is that how I pronounce it? I'm so sorry. Mission Viejo, California is gone. So you can't buy the whole state, but you can buy the rest. All right, I'll give you 5 more minutes. Congratulations. Awesome. We'll have Emma and Desiree reach out today. Andrew, are you saying that basically webinars are ineffective? No. I'm saying you can't run the exact same seminar you ran in person as a webinar and have it work. At least I flopped. I did it. I'm a little thick-headed. I flopped 3 times before I figured this out. So I know there are people who are saying they're doing it. I've opted in as a prospect for like a dozen to see what I was missing. I think it's harder. I think I think the fundamental problem is you're asking to get married on the first date pretty much. We found it much better when we baby step our way into the relationship. Which I learned from Ryan Dice of Digital Marketer, like the set 12 stages of human intimacy. And he said, if I walked up to a girl in a bar and smacked her butt that I never met, I'd get slapped. If I walked up, why are you walking up to a total stranger virtually and saying, give me money or give me an hour and a half of your time? That's a big commitment. Like I changed our own funnel because we would do free plus shipping on the book. And I'm like, I'm asking them to read a 200-page book. That's going to take them some time. Now, granted, someone who wants to read it is more qualified than someone who doesn't. But we said, let's just do a cheat sheet. Let's do a tip guide. Let's do a couple chapters. Let's do a video series before I ask them to commit to the hours and hours it would take to read a whole book. Now, granted, you could flip through and read a chapter and get results and implement one campaign out of the dozens that are in here. So I think a webinar could work. It's just easier to do baby steps. And we've changed our own marketing firm as well. We've pivoted, and we used to only sell a large ticket monthly 12-month retainer contract. And due to Corona, we switched and we said, let's go to 3 months. Let's do a smaller priced offering that we can still deliver at break even, because if it works for them, they'll make money and they'll want to do more. Like we've moved with the market because we've had to. Gary is in the Kansas City metro area I am in, and Gary says that. Oh, you were replying that you were the Gary that bought that's in Kansas City. Got it. Thank you. Understood. All right, I'll give you 4 more minutes. So no, Andrew, webinars aren't ineffective. You just can't do the same seminar. It's going to cost you a lot more per qualified lead on the webinar. Because like I said, the last one I did, I had 63 people register and 5 showed up. So if I spent $1,500 in ad spend, I paid $300 a person for 5 people to show up and then drop off. So your cost per qualified lead, hey, I'd rather pay $200 for an appointment than $300 for a lead I got to chase who isn't qualified and didn't watch the whole thing. Two minutes. Additional questions? All right, so we're down to 3 slots if my math is right, 3 or 4 since Gary and Tracy came on. All right, I don't see any more questions. I'm assuming nobody else is typing. So let's wrap it up. Thank you so much for joining us. I hope you learned a lot. I hope you learned some new sources of appointments, even if you don't use them. I mean, obviously I hope you do, and I hope you do it with us. But even if you don't, you learned that Facebook isn't your only option, that there are other places to generate leads on the internet. I hope you learn to warm people up before you ask them for a lot of their time. Take some baby steps with them. Follow the stages of like dating. Date them first before you take them home. And then most importantly, I hope you like my 3-step annuity explainer script. I hope even if you're not in the program, go use it. It'll increase your close rate. I guarantee it. Try it with your wife. Try it with your kids. See how it works, and then go do it with some prospects or some clients and watch what happens. I'd love to hear your feedback if you use it and go, oh my God, I can't believe it worked. It's so silly. It works. So thank you very much for joining us. Look forward to serving those of you who enrolled. We'll keep the link up until, normally we do 24 hours, but it's Friday. So if you have to think about it, if you have to talk to a spouse or a partner or somebody, we'll leave it up till Monday if you haven't signed up already. And obviously when you jump in that membership site, there's some very cool surprise bonuses that you'll see. Watch the walkthrough videos so you know what Emma or Desiree is going to ask for. And we'll see you on the other side generating leads for you. Thanks everybody for joining us.